Hi there! Welcome to What is Islam Academy. Let's learn about Islam together.
Does modern science contradict the Holy Quran? This question is often raised by skeptics who claim that scientific progress has made the Quran outdated. They point to certain verses arguing these are unscientific and use this to cast doubt on the Quran's divine origin. The core claim, if even one contradiction with the established science is found, the Quran's authenticity is questioned. Critics search for verses that seem to disagree with modern knowledge, insisting that faith must yield to empirical evidence. But have these critics truly understood the Quran or the nature of science? The Quran is not a textbook of physics or biology. It is a book of guidance for all humanity. Its purpose is to teach us right from wrong, to guide us to our Creator, and to inspire reflection on the wonders of the universe. The signs it mentions are meant to make us think, not to provide scientific formulas. So we must address these claims directly. Are the supposed contradictions real, or are they misunderstandings? Is the issue with the Quran or with interpretation? Is it a clash with established fact, or with a theory that may change? By examining these questions, we find that the Quran does not contradict established science. In fact, it contains truths that science has only recently discovered. This harmony is a powerful sign of its divine origin. The challenge is not to pit science against scripture, but to seek understanding. When we do, we find the Quran and science are not enemies, but companions in the search for truth. Let's explore how. The Quran calls itself a book of signs, ayahs, not a book of science. Its message is spiritual and moral, using the natural world as evidence of the Creator's power. The Quran was revealed for all people in all times, not just for scientists. It encourages us to ponder the sky, the earth, the animals, and ourselves. This call to reflection inspired the Islamic Golden Age, when Muslim scientists saw no conflict between faith and scientific discovery. For them, studying creation was a form of worship. The Quran mentions the sun, moon, mountains, rain, and human development not as scientific lectures, but as signs for those who reflect. When it describes the stages of a developing baby, it's to show the Creator's power, not to teach medicine. The scientific facts in the Quran are there as supporting evidence, not as the main message. They become clearer as human knowledge grows. The Quran's guidance is timeless, and its signs are accessible to everyone. We should read it seeking guidance for our souls, not just scientific facts. Its miracles confirm its divine authorship. As knowledge advances, the Quran's signs become even more profound. It is a book of guidance filled with signs that point to the Creator. Many alleged scientific errors in the Quran stem from misinterpretation or poor translation. For example, critics cite the verse about Dhul Qarnayn seeing the sun setting in a spring of dark mud. They claim this is unscientific. But the verse describes what Dhul Qarnayn perceived, not an astronomical fact, just as we say the sun sets into the ocean. The Quran often describes events from the observer's perspective. Misunderstandings also arise from the richness of the Arabic language, where a single word can have multiple meanings. Without context and linguistic knowledge, it's easy to misinterpret verses. Most supposed contradictions disappear when the Quran is read carefully and in context. The problem is not with the revelation, but with flawed human interpretation. While not a science book, the Quran contains statements about the natural world that were unknown at the time of its revelation. For example, it describes the expanding universe, confirmed only in the 20th century. It details human embryonic development with accuracy that matches modern science. The Quran mentions mountains as stabilizers of the earth, a fact only recently understood in geology. These are not vague claims, but specific details that align with scientific discoveries. Such knowledge could not have come from a 7th century human. These examples are signs for those who reflect. The Quran also describes the water cycle, the composition of milk, and the barrier between fresh and salt water. These scientific truths, revealed centuries ago, point to a divine source. The harmony between the Quran and science is a sign of its authenticity. Science is always evolving. What's accepted today may be disproven tomorrow. The Quran, however, has remained unchanged and consistent. If it had agreed with outdated scientific theories, it would be wrong today, but it didn't. When there appears to be a conflict, it's often with a temporary theory, not an established fact. The Quran encourages seeking knowledge and reflection, inspiring centuries of scientific progress. We must scrutinize all claims, whether scientific or scriptural. When we do, we find the Quran and the universe are in harmony. The ultimate truth is always consistent with itself. The Quran's message and the signs in creation both point to the same creator.